The following podcast contains naughty language and ridiculous situations. Listener discretion is advised.
You know, I'm in a good mood. You know, I watched the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan over the weekend, and I really enjoyed them. And I gotta admit, you know, I love Star Wars. But I think there are a lot of things in a galaxy far, far away that's dumb. Search your feelings. You know it to be true. But what I will not critique is a actor based on their gender or ethnicity. So I have a message for all the moisture boys and bantha fodder in the back, all right, that have a hard time with a strong black woman doing some dope imperial shit. So do me a favor. When you're looking in the mirror, trying to wash away the Cheetos and the sadness, look into yourself for a minute, and maybe you can figure out why you've never kissed a girl consensually. All right? So knock it off, dudes. All right? This fucking toxic fandom is whack. Everyone knows it's whack. And if you're a fan of that toxicity, you can't listen to the show anymore. All right? So thank you. They're gone. For everyone that's left, welcome to Trick or Treat Radio.
Welcome, all you sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, and dickheads. You're listening to the hottest show on the airwaves, Trick or Treat Radio. Welcome to episode 514 of Trick or Treat Radio. Trick or Treat Radio is the world's most dangerous podcast and is recorded in front of an undead studio audience here at Castle Wolfenstein. Also at the Lair... The what? What am I doing? The Lair of Lost Swag. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm all messed up. Raven Chat, we'll find out why he messed me up. The Lair of Lost Swag within the Raven Chateau, and also the Lair of the Gods. We're broadcasting from 3 locations today. We'll be back with 4 next week. Just the 3 of us. Is that how that song goes?
Just 3 of us. Aries, Wolf and Shadow. Wolf and Shadow?
Wolf and Shadow. Well, that's one way to combine them into one.
Yeah. I was going to say, just the 3 of us. Aries, Raven, Shadow, Wolf Eye.
Wolf Eye?
Yeah. That's why I have my house internet. I have Wolf Eye.
You can call me a wolf eater.
Yeah, he's a wolf eater.
So here we are, just the 3 of us, and tonight we are going to be talking about a movie, and the name of that movie is You Won't Be Alone. So we'll be talking about a folk horror movie later on. But before that, we like to dazzle and bullshit for a little while. Maybe dazzle, maybe a little razzle dazzle, a lot of bullshit. That's kind of, yeah. What was that, Rachel? Razzle dazzle. So we will razzle dazzle you with bullshit for about 45 minutes. Then we talk about a movie, and then we play some voice messages and kind of wrap it all up with a bow. Raven Chat, when you do bow, do you buy string and like cut it and then like make your own bow? Do you buy like a pre-made bow that you just peel off the adhesive on and just slap it on a gift, or do you just forego the bow altogether?
No,
or does someone buy the bow for you?
Yeah.
Probably the latter. But no, if I were to put a bow on it, I would do a loop, a hoop, and a swoop, right? Is that how you do it? It's like tying your shoes, right? I'll staple a bow.
A loop, a hoop, and a swoop.
You're going to staple a bow.
Yeah. Chunk.
To, like, if you're tying a bow in a vase, you're going to staple it to the vase?
Yeah. I guess I got some glass staples. People don't know that, dude. Marion got me that. Glass staples. It's fun.
Yeah, it sounds fun.
It's fun.
So, that's all right. Well, forgo the bow. It should be like a hashtag. Forgo the bow.
Low bow. How about that?
Forgo the low bow.
No.
Yeah, we like low bow.
Or low bow.
You're a lobosexual.
Was that when you like fucked dolphins? Fucked space dolphins?
No. It's when you really like Lobo. You're only turned on by Lobo.
I am turned on by Lobo. He'll frag you. See what happens.
I think we just found Raven Shadow's new kink. He's gonna have women dressed up as Lobo.
Oh God.
True. Yeah. Attention cosplay community.
Oh, I wanted to mention, so for almost 10 years, you've basically heard the same intro on this show, the same intro music, that is. And I was reminded recently because, let me see if I can get this right. I think it was Dane Unda, had recently seen Miami Connection in the theater. And it was his first time checking it out. And so he posted about it. And I wasn't sure if people remembered that we talked about it a lot. So what I did was I went back and pulled up a link for episode 50, way back in the first year, and shared that. And then I was like, you know what? I haven't listened to this episode since we did it. Like, I just kind of am curious. And so I listened to it, and I had completely forgotten that Tiny wrote a chiptunes version of the intro music specifically for that episode, like just for that one episode. And as far as I'm aware, I think that's the only time it's ever been played. Like, maybe you played it one other time on the show or something, just as like, oh, remember that? That was cool. But yeah, it's literally been years. And I was like, you know what? Like, kind of wanted to switch it up a little bit. We're talking about freshening some things up, putting a fresh coat of paint on some things. We'll see how that works out, because time is of the essence. But I figured that we could at least do that. Kind of bring that back. And as you could hear, the sort of voiceover to it was very 80s centric, quoting Ferris Bueller's Day Off, as Raven Shadow reminded me. I couldn't remember what movie it was. But so I don't know if we're going to keep that as the intro, but I just figured I'd just kind of mix it up, because we don't really do that. So there you go. There's the explanation. If you're wondering why we had different intro music this week, we'll see how it feels. We'll put it on and see how it looks, see how it feels, Raven Channel, right? Is that what you do when you get some new clothes or something?
Yeah, try it on, get your full length mirror in the back, you know what I mean? Put some candles on, try some outfits on, have a different, little fashion show.
And
that's fun.
And if you don't like something, can you bring it back?
Yeah, I mean, you can't stain it first, but you can try it on, you gotta return it. You can't fuck it up.
Well, what do you do about a bad haircut? Can you bring that back? Sorry, I was looking for a segue.
Yeah, no, baby, it's exciting. Yeah.
So
new.
Yeah, Raven Chow, what's going on? No, what's new about you?
Oh, let's turn the lights on, Johnny.
Whoa! What the hell? Raven Chow has a lot less hair. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, baby, this is fucking Michael Reinvention Shadow, baby. This is what we're doing right now.
You've lost 10% of your body weight by cutting your hair off.
It's true. I was windy earlier. I was fucking flying. But no, I think enough was enough. It was time for a change, as the great late great Owen Hart once said, and I seen something different. Much like in wrestling, when you change certain things, you want a new direction. It's very important. Maybe you wear long tights and you go to wearing the panties. Maybe you have a beard and you shave it. Or you have long hair and you cut it. So I'm once again this year 2020 Deuce is I'm on the Michael Reinvention Shadow tour. And it might get weird. It might really get weird. I will probably grow it back. I might get back to the Snake Plissken kind of length. But right now it's something different, baby. And a lot of positive feedback, though. It's true.
From yourself? You look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, you look good.
No, I never say that. But no, but at the work job, even the fucking people in the package store popped when I went in. It was funny.
All right, that's not a good sign when the people in the liquor store recognize that you've changed your look.
Yeah, I wear a mask.
You are going in there too much.
I know. It's funny. I go in there too. If I don't buy cigarettes, like, what's wrong? Because normally it's like throw up two, and they get me two, and they know my stuff. But yeah, no. There's a very my foreign immigrant friends in the package store. They popped for it. People at work. Marion really likes it. So yeah, something a little different. Chicken things up a little bit, kind of like getting back to my old school Jack Knight look.
Get back to your roots, literally.
I guess my roots is long hair, is what I always had, but no, just shake it up a little, baby. Something different.
Well, I mean, getting closer to your roots.
I guess I'm close to my roots, right.
It's easier to dye them if it's.
I don't fucking dye my hair, bro.
Oh, I figured it out. You lost the long wig, so you're on the backup wig now. That's what it is.
Dude, you see the gray all over the side, which you'd like to point out.
Yeah, well, you use touch of gray with the beard color there. See, you use touch of gray. I use bitch slap of gray.
I use all the gray.
Speaking of slapping, there's a lot of slapping in this movie. We're going to talk about
a lot of other things too. A lot of dudes just hanging out, frolicking.
Yeah, unfortunately, some fucking animal death. But, hey, it was the old times.
Oldest times.
The oldest times, yeah. So, yeah, Ravenshaw got a haircut. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's a changed man.
True, because guys with long hair are assholes.
What?
You're pretty cool, John.
Aries had long hair for a long time.
Until I lost it, but this still could be defined as long hair.
That is true. He does have a long beard, so that does qualify.
That's true. We actually had a great night. It was awesome, Wolfie. If I can share this, Aries, I'm gonna. On Sunday night, got to hang out with some old school brothers. Aries and Thomas Smythe came over the house, and we watched the AEW pay-per-view.
Wait, you figured out how to work pay-per-view on your
No.
Okay.
Just
making sure. I was gonna be surprised.
He was counting his Uncrustables while Tom was figuring out the pay-per-view.
My job was ordering the pizza, and he had to order the pay-per-view.
What did Aries do? What was your job, Aries?
I was just looking pretty.
Oh, well. So, pizza, pay-per-view, pretty.
Yeah.
The 3 Ps.
Peace. So that was so much fun.
That's exciting.
Aries was very surprised when he opened the door. He yelled.
Because he saw the hair then.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an initial thing with me. Like, it took me probably about a minute for it to register that he cut his hair.
But it was very much a very Doc Brown response. What the fuck?
Yeah.
He was like 1.21 gigawatts.
But it was nice. No, we watched. Did you watch it, Johnny?
I did.
You watched?
Yeah, I did.
It was a long fucking.
That was the
pay-per-view.
longest one they've done, I think, because it was a holiday weekend. I think they didn't have a cap on the pay-per-view. So yeah, it was a long show.
Best match on the card, trios match.
House of Black one.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a really good match. What about the fucking Anarchy and the Arena match?
Wowzers. I'm not sure how I feel about that one. I think I liked it, but I don't know. It was a lot going on.
What about Eddie Kingston like covered in blood, and then he got Matt Menard like covered in mustard, like that whole fucking bit.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah, it was outrageous. It's funny. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but so two of the guys in the Jericho Appreciation Society, Matt Menard and Cool Hand Ange, those guys were in Chikara for a long time, and I guess it's I can say this, but I was like pretty like, I would talk to Ange, Cool Hand Ange, like pretty regularly, and we're actually friends on Facebook still. It's funny, he's from Canada, but he's a big Bruins fan. So we used to talk about the Bruins all the time. And I got to go to one of the Bruins Stanley Cup final games. When was it? 2011, I want to say. And I got like when I went, I got like a whole bag full of like goodies from the seats that we had because we had really good seats. And so next time I saw him, I brought him a Bruins rally towel. So he has like one of those fucking yellow rally towels that I got from the game. But yeah, I haven't really talked to him in a while, but he's a real good dude.
That's cool. He's super French Canadian too.
Yeah.
And I heard him on Talk is Jericho.
Yep.
When they had the origin of the JOS, and they got a new appreciation for him, how they came up with their characters and their names and stuff like that. And yeah, it was great. As much I love the Inner Circle, but I think after 3 years they're doing something different and heel Jericho and I like this transition, but it was a mess. Like a lot going on in those rings.
Yeah, it was. So have you been following AEW, Raven Channel?
Not as much as I want to.
Okay.
I try to keep up and to listen to the Talk is Jericho pretty regularly to at least kind of catch up on who's who and what's going on.
How about you, Aries? Have you been watching at all?
No.
Okay.
I occasionally I'd catch a little bit, but not enough to even justify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of the House of Black entrance?
I loved everything about that match. That match like made the whole pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was a pretty fucking amazing match. And the other team is also very good. Like Pac is fucking one of the best wrestlers in the world, and then you have Phoenix and
Penta.
Penta. I forget because he changed his name. Obscuro. But yeah, like all those guys are fucking awesome. So, and I just love the presentation. Like House of Black to me is like it's almost like the new Undertaker. You know, like their presentation, and it's not like they're like stealing anything. But what I mean is, it's like so theatrical and so cool that like you get excited just to see them come out. You know.
And that's the thing. Like, I mean, whether it be wrestling, comics, even music, like you could argue there's no new ideas, but you can take something and enhance it to make it you, and just switch it just a little bit. And was it Aleister Black that had that fucking almost like a swanton bomb that looked terrible when he jumped? I think he clipped his head on the apron.
Oh no, I think that was Brody King, the big dude, right?
Yeah, it was the big guy.
Yeah,
he landed back first on the apron.
Yeah, that looked a little rough, but yeah, no, that match was great. I love that the Punk Hangman match I thought was real good. Despite like I think they told a really good story. Like I wouldn't say it was like maybe as good as of a wrestling match as some of the others, but I thought that was real good. Darby versus Kyle O'Reilly was fucking outrageous. I actually thought the first hour was pretty weak. I'm trying to remember what the first few matches were. It was actually Young Bucks and Hardys. I didn't think was good at all.
Well, here's a question, John. Before we get to Young Bucks and Hardys, was the MJF a punishment match? Because Tom was saying that he was like not showing up, but he got squashed. It seemed like he kind of get like vinced out? Were they?
So okay, so it's interesting. The full thing hasn't been quite revealed yet, but on last night's Dynamite on their show they do on Wednesday nights, what happened with MJF leads me to believe that this whole thing has been a work. They were building up because he was basically finishing his feud with Wardlow, which in essence they've been building the storyline for like 2 years, I think, because Wardlow was with MJF and like there was like, you know, they were kind of like, you could see that there was some dissent like going on, and Wardlow wasn't really liking being his servant or his employee or whatever. So it'd been building for a while, you know, and that was the payoff. And the payoff is basically to make Wardlow look like a star. So like that's where they were going. Like it was obvious that that's where they were going to go. And there was over the weekend, I want to say on Saturday, he had skipped a signing where people had paid $100 a ticket to get to meet MJF. and he skipped out on that. And then there were rumors going around that he actually booked a flight on Sunday, and he was going to leave before the pay-per-view even started. So like, there's all these rumors going around, and like, it's being covered by all the like the dirt sheets and you know, and wrestling bloggers and whatever. So they're all like, "Oh my God, MJF, is he going to show? Is he going to show?" So I think it was twofold, because Tony Khan had said on the AEW podcast that he didn't like going up against a Game 7 of the NBA playoffs, which it was going directly against the Celtics versus the Miami Heat Game 7. So what he wanted to do, he said that he was going to hold off the main event until after the game was over. He's like, we're not going to have the main event go on while the basketball game's over, because I want to make sure people that want to watch that can watch it and then come over and watch the pay-per-view or something. So I feel like he maybe built up more excitement to try to get people to tune in early by having that match first to see if MJF was going to show. And then last night on Dynamite, MJF came out and cut what was like his pipe bomb, in essence, saying like, "Fuck this company. I am like the biggest draw here. If you look at all like the ratings, I draw the highest ratings, all this shit." He's like, "I signed my contract like day one, and I got like, at that point I was a nobody. And now I'm getting paid 6 times less than some of these fucking WWE guys who you come in and pay them like up the ass." And he basically said, "Tony, I want you to fucking fire me." And he was like swearing like into the camera, and they're bleeping it all out. And he's like, "Fire me," and like just going nuts. And then they cut his mic, and then cut to commercial. So it's kind of like a pipe bomb kind of deal, and I think the deal they're going to go with this is that he feels disrespected, and he's going to try to get a new, now he's trying to get fired. Before, the rumor was he wanted a new contract, but now he's trying to get fired. So,
but is that a storyline? Because that'd be interesting. That could be a cool.
No, it is. That's what I'm saying. It's a work, because there's no way they would have given him time to say that on live television if they didn't know it was going to happen.
Okay, all right. And that's what's cool. I think this wasn't. I think that the last pay-per-view I watched with Tom in November was really fucking killer, top to bottom. This was good, but I kind of wished Aries saw the last one.
Yeah, I think the last one was better. I think this one was solid, and I think the first hour was mostly forgettable. Like, I've seen the Hardys and Young Bucks before, and that was by far their worst match. I'm trying to remember what else was on that first hour, but I just was like, what the fuck? Like, like it just wasn't very good.
We were all very concerned about Jeff Hardy being in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
We were all very concerned about what happens after the show. And hopefully somebody...
I was concerned about what happened before the show. Just Hardy in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, and the first match was MJF versus Wardlow. It wasn't a good match. It was just a payoff to a story. And then Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. Like, it just was a weird match. And I like Jade Cargill's fine, but she's not a great wrestler. She's improving. She's actually working with Daniel Bryan. But they built her up to be this like unstoppable, like champion. And so it's just kind of boring, But then after that, that was the House of Black versus Death Triangle, and that's when things picked up.
It was like, we were like, how do you follow that?
Right.
That sucks. That sucks.
They followed it with Samoa Joe versus Adam Cole, which I thought was a good match, but like it's tough to follow that up.
Dude, fucking Aries and Thomas Smythe was shelling Adam Cole the entire fucking time.
Because he looks like a little boy?
Yeah.
He does. He does look like a little boy. I got to admit, like, he's a good wrestler. He's a good talker. Like, there's a lot that I like about him, but he just does not look the part whatsoever. Like, I feel like he has zero muscle definition. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was saying. Exactly. He does not look like a wrestler. He does not look like he could stand toe-to-toe with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, and Samoa Joe is a fucking beast. Like literally, he is I would not fuck with Samoa Joe. Like a lot of people wouldn't fuck with Samoa Joe, and it's the optics of it. Looking at this, like, and he beats him with like a with the boom, which is a kick to the back of like a knee to the back of the head. Like I could see maybe if he was out wrestling people, but like maybe if that's his thing where he can out wrestle you and pin you in ways or like put on submission holds or something like that. Like there's a guy in New Japan, Zack Sabre Jr., who's like that. He's super skinny, has almost no muscle definition, but he can out wrestle anybody. Like, like he is an amazing grappler. But with Adam Cole, it's just not very convincing to me. And that's like, wrestling is in a way it's like watching actors, right? And it's like watching like it would be like this is like a big stretch, but it would be like let's say Game of Thrones. Shit, what's Tyrion? Yeah, what's his name?
His real life name?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. He's so good. But yeah, let's just say Tyrion versus the Hound.
Not even
the
versus. It's let me see.
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage. Yeah, thank you. So let's say if Peter Dinklage was cast to play the Mountain in Game of Thrones, right? Like this big fucking mountain of a man who just destroys people. Like that's kind of like a good like analogy for it. Like Adam Cole should use underhanded tactics or something. Like him winning clean against Samoa Joe is like little ridiculous.
But I feel he got smaller. I think he had better muscle definition earlier. Did he looked better.
Maybe. I'm trying to remember. I don't actually remember. I'd have to look. But yeah, he literally has the body of a little boy. Like I'm not putting him down. I mean, he's a great wrestler. I like him. But that's just when you look, that's what you see. Like, I don't know. I feel like if that's your job, like you have to play the part, and like, I just don't think he even works out,
That's the thing. Cause a lot of professional wrestling is appearance.
Yeah.
And in no way am I saying that professional wrestlers should use steroids and bulk up like,
no way, yeah.
The WWF in the 80s, but there is a certain degree of appearance that you come to expect from a professional wrestler.
Yeah. Just look like you have a little bit of muscle and you can like body slam and power bomb people with, like, cause a lot of it is leverage, like, and the other guy helps out a lot, but yeah, like it does bother me a little bit. I got to be honest. Like, and I really like him. So don't get me wrong. I just feel like watching it, you have to suspend so much disbelief when you watch Adam Cole fight like a bigger guy. That it's just a little weird.
that was my first experience with him, and to put him against Samoa Joe, it's like, oh my God, like, could you have found a worse opponent to expose me to him? Like,
it's true.
If you put him against someone his own size, like I probably would have been, oh my God, this guy's amazing. But now I look back and think, I think of like, I have bad thoughts because it's just like, no, he shouldn't have beaten Samoa Joe clean.
Yeah. Let me see what else. I actually thought Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb was super solid. That was one of the better women's matches I've seen in a while, I think.
Oh, that match introduced the best cam shot ever.
Jesus Christ.
Wowzer.
There was a hard cam on one of the corners.
Oh, yeah,
and it was like they went to it right as one of the women were walking up, so it was started to become an ass shot, and then they cut away.
Yeah, that caused a big pop over the Raven Shadow. I'll tell you that much.
Do you guys remember the Straight Edge Society, CM Punk's faction in WWE a few years, like 12 years ago or something?
I don't. I wasn't watching then.
I remember the name. I don't remember who was in it.
Okay, well, Serena Deeb was in it. She had a shaved head.
Okay.
So she's been around as a wrestler for a while. And it also had oh God, I'm forgetting his name too. He's in the Good Brothers now. But he used to he used to be oh my God, I'm literally forgetting every fucking name. But he was in a team where he played like a doofus, and then he would just have this like lost look on his face, and then like when a match started and the bell rang, he would just snap into it and go nuts and like just destroy people. But when
Gallows Anderson?
Gallows, thank you. Luke Gallows is his name now, but in WWE he was. I'm gonna look up that fucking name because I forget. Doc Gallows, Festus. That's it. He was Festus. Yeah. So stupid. Oh man. He did play the Imposter Kane though as well. So he's got that going for him, I guess. All right. Well, we don't have to talk too much more about Double or Nothing, yeah, go ahead.
One last thing. I was really super psyched for the Britt Baker and Ruby Soho match.
Yep.
And I gotta say, I fucking love Rancid, the band.
Yep.
I'm a huge Rancid mark, but that performance is not good. And I love the fact that halfway through it, Aries is like, they don't have Lars, and we're like, nope, that's Lars on the left. He's like, nope. I'm like, nope. That's Lars Armstrong on Lars Fredrickson.
Yeah.
And Tim Armstrong, wow. God bless him. I love Rancid, but it was
I love his new look, rocking the full beard and shaved head, but
true. He's been watching Aries tapes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He did not sound good. It was a little painful.
Yeah, it was a little rough. But yeah, it was fun. It was a good show for the most part. I am super looking forward to Forbidden Door, which is the next pay-per-view, which is going to be a joint show with New Japan Pro Wrestling. And that's actually in a month, or later this month, I should say. So that should be kind of fun. They did kind of tease one match. Hiroshi Tanahashi, who is known as the ace of New Japan, one of their biggest stars, came out on Dynamite and looked like he challenged Punk. So we're going to get Tanahashi versus Punk, I think. But Tanahashi is kind of like, just to relate it to here, he's kind of like the John Cena of New Japan. But he is on the tail end of his career, and a lot of times when in New Japan they let guys stay on for a while, but they kind of they reach a pinnacle and then they kind of ease them back down the card, you know what I mean? So I think he's on that sort of downward trend now, and then he'll be in sort of showcase matches and stuff, and he'll stick around for a while. He's still good, don't get me wrong. He can put on a great match, but I feel like that's what they're kind of transitioning him to, that sort of old-timers role. So, but hey, I'm sure all of us who wouldn't mind it being getting something like that.
As we're kind of encroaching upon the tail end of our careers.
Yeah, yeah. One more thing. What about Eddie Kingston bringing the fucking gasoline out?
Oh my God! Tom Smythe was legitimately scared. He's like, he's fucking crazy. He may set somebody on fire.
Oh shit, that was good. So, all right, we haven't talked wrestling in a while, so it's kind of fun to talk some wrestling. I do want to talk a little bit. You mentioned in the intro Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I know you've only seen the first two, Raven Chow. Have you seen any of them, Aries?
I did. I watched all three.
Okay, good.
I do want to revisit the third one, because I was a little groggy when I was watching it. So
yeah, I'm with you. I was up late working, and I realized I looked over and oh shit, 3:00. All right, might as well watch it.
Yeah, that was the thing. It was like, holy crap, I can watch Obi-Wan, and it was just like, I should not be watching this right now. I'm fighting to stay awake while I'm watching it.
Yeah, So I'm definitely gonna revisit it again. But yeah, episode 3, Raven Child, definitely see it soon if you can.
Yeah. I'll probably watch it. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yeah. We'll probably.
So half tomorrow and half on Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's I could see being some spoiler stuff coming out from it, so definitely watch. But yeah, I don't know if you guys agree, but I think young Leia is a fucking revelation.
So I'm surprised that you mentioned that, but fair, since we're going there. Like, I think this show really surprised me. The like 20-minute recap of some of the prequels.
It was like
actually made me
4 minutes, but okay.
All right. Well, I watched it a couple
In
times.
Raven Shadow time, that's 20 minutes. That's
Yeah, no shit.
It's an eternity to him.
It was more than 4 minutes.
No,
But I'm
it
like,
wasn't.
wow.
It really wasn't.
Timestamp. Fine.
Don't make me put it on right now.
Watch it again.
He has the technology to put it
Yeah,
on.
I can literally watch it
and just have it playing to time it while you're talking.
But I was watching that with Marion because she watched it before me. I'm like, wow, I want to watch the fucking prequels again. This looks good. Like, all you need to cut it. Just cut the fucking trailer. It's good.
Just
But
turn it into a 4-minute movie.
Yeah, it's fucking dope. But what they did, this is one of the best retcons I've seen. You know, almost up there with like.
Wait, what
with
was the retcon?
The retcon was the interaction of Obi-Wan with a character that we never knew that he interacted with.
I don't think that's a retcon, though.
I'm not saying retcon in a bad way, but we've never saw that side of them. And I just feel that it makes a certain little bit of dialogue in episode 4 a lot more impactful.
Right, that's why I don't think it's a retcon.
Or an enhancement. Sorry, maybe not retcon, maybe a discovery.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I see what you're saying. But typically a retcon is kind of, let me look up the definition. So it's like a piece of new information that imposes a different interpretation on previously described events, typically used to facilitate a dramatic plot shift or account for an inconsistency. So I guess in a way, maybe you are right. Retcon, typically when it's used is they blatantly change something, you know.
Right.
But yes, there's a lot of, you can take a lot of the lines from A New Hope like verbatim, and think that, some of the stuff that's already occurred in the first 3 episodes didn't, it's not servicing the end, the end game or what happens in A New Hope. But I feel like it is left open to interpretation the way that they say it. And for instance, there's a few things. We know Kylo Ren's name is Ben,
Right.
So where did he get his name? Okay. Maybe we know where he got his name now. I mean, also, why did Leia reach out to Obi-Wan Kenobi in A New Hope? And then there's a few other things. Even in Jedi, actually, Vader says, Obi-Wan thought as you, Obi-Wan once thought as you did, that there's good in him or something like that. So I imagine we might get something along those lines still. I feel like they're hitting on all these lines that could be interpreted in different ways and making it so that it actually makes sense,
Her saying, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope,
right,
has so much more gravitas now,
right.
to me.
But in the opening of that speech, it implies she's never met him.
Correct.
Well,
100%.
She says, "You serve my father in the Clone Wars."
Yes. Which is, you don't know me. This is who I am. That is what that statement is.
The other thing about it, though, and there's some room for interpretation here. Let's see. I just don't want to spoil anything. It's not.
Yeah, it's
don't,
tough.
Don't worry. It's not spoiler. But from what I can recall, he only refers to himself as Ben around Leia. So, and there's something else in part 3 that I won't say, but there's something that makes me believe that maybe I'm sure all will be answered. So, I mean, we're only halfway through right now. I'm sure all will be answered, but yeah, I won't say anymore.
I am not hopeful that all will be answered. I'm assuming that there are still going to be holes in the stories, because as much as I love all the prequels and not necessarily the prequels, all the stories that happen around the Star Wars universe, anytime they go backwards, there are holes and they bother me. I pick them out, and that bothers me. So I don't have hope that they're going to fill them all in, because even if it is small, it does stick with me.
Yeah, and there's also the possibility that this was supposed to be a limited series. Like they just were planning on doing 6 episodes, but it's already the biggest debut for a Disney Plus show ever. So that includes all Marvel shows, all Star Wars shows.
That's saying something. That's fucking huge, right?
Yeah. So it's done, it has the highest numbers so far. So my guess is that, at the end of it, if it all we know everyone's going to be alive, so that's not an issue. But at the end of this series, I think once it wraps up, they might be like, you know what, like we can tell some more stories. So maybe what they did was maybe they left some little holes so that not everything is filled in, and they can revisit that if they decide to do another season.
And I think what this does really well is that we had an argument, we all came together at the end. But this is a story that I think is cool telling. And yes, once again, we did, spoiler alert, you do see fucking Kenobi watching, little moisture boy Skywalker.
Little moisture boy. Oh, 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 oh.
But I like the shit in the square, and like, and not for nothing, the Inquisitors, whatever the fuck, this chick is bad ass, dude.
She's awesome.
But spoiler alert, she's right. And in fact, if there were more Imperials like this character, maybe they wouldn't have fucking lost the war come Jedi.
That's true. I have a theory, but I'm not going to talk about it because there was some information in part 3 that led me to this. So I'm not going to say anything. If you guys want to hear my theory, go check out the last episode of Force Insensitive.
Ooh, nice plug. I wish we could discuss this further. I am curious as to why Raven Shadow thinks she's right. Like, I wish we could dive into that statement.
Not right about her beliefs. No, but right about who she was looking for. At least as far as episode 2, everyone's like, no, this person's not around. No, you're a dummy. No. But she led this person into a trap and almost got him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's what I mean. Right. Like, she knew she was looking for a person, a person in particular, and she got that person with her machinations.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. You can't discuss that further without getting into spoilers. But you said something that I'm going to, because it was something you shouldn't have said, and you were wrong because you shouldn't have said it. Yeah, you said we all agreed, and we did not all agree.
Timestamp, Johnny. What I said we all agreed upon. We all like oxygen.
You said we all came back and agreed, something to that effect. Because I do not think anything was retconned in this show. They used what was made in the movies, and dove deeper into it. There was no retcon. They used tensions and came up with reasons as to why there was tensions. There was no retcon.
Johnny, can you please bring up the definition of retcon, please?
He did, and it was wrong for what you said.
Johnny, can you bring up the definition?
Correction. the key part of retcon was the correction. There's no correction in this story.
Play back the entire message. Nope. Regardless, I think it's exciting. It's exciting in a galaxy far, far away, like Ben with his beard, and it's fun. But don't be pissed. Once again, there's some great characters. I like this character a lot. I'm interested where it's going to go. And I think the first 2 episodes I saw were killer. And once again, it makes me like, maybe I should watch episode 3 again. No, why would I fucking?
No, I think you should watch episode 3 again, because I think Revenge of the Sith is a good movie. There are parts of Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones that I think are really good, but there's a lot of downtime as well. I actually watched them all leading up to Obi-Wan Kenobi just to refresh. But I think there's some great stuff in Revenge of the Sith. So,
see, I think you should take those 3 movies and edit them together into one 3 to 4 hour film.
Yeah, I mean, you probably. I definitely am in agreement. I think you could do that because a lot of the stuff I get. They wanted to show some of that Anakin has a light side, like and he can be tender and whatever, but a lot of the stuff between him and Padme in Attack of the Clones is fucking groan inducing. And he comes off as such a fucking creep to her. I don't I can't like just the way he talks, I can't stop looking at you, blah, blah, blah. Like it's you might as well just have him be like heavy breathing, Padme. I hate sand. But I will say, upon subsequent watches, I don't think there's anything wrong with his acting. I think it's the script. I don't think there's anything wrong with his acting, and I think Hayden Christensen is fine in those movies. Ultimately, because Padme, once again, Natalie Portman. Thank you for getting someone else's name. I generally like her as an actress, and I thought she was pretty bad in that too. But that's the direction you're given. When the director tells you to do something, you do it that way, right? So I think that it just was poor direction. And as we know, George is a super bright, creative dude. But the movies that he directed of the original trilogy, had fucking, the original Star Wars was saved in editing. They had to hire one of the best editors in the world to make it into something. And he didn't direct Empire or Jedi. So, but he did all the prequels. So just
I mean, well, and also to be fair, the acting in the original trilogy is not stellar.
No, it's not. No.
It is. There is some bad acting in those movies. It is the stories that save those movies.
Well, here's the thing too, though. But here's the thing, and I had a conversation with some young people over the weekend, who also, once again, criticized the people in the 30s, who criticized I forget Moses. I forget what her Inquisitor name is.
Reva.
Reva. And yeah.
Good. I was just gonna say when you saw these kids, you go up to them and say, "How do you do, fellow kids?" Like this Steve Buscemi fucking meme.
Yeah. Hi, kids. But I had my haircut, so I look much younger. People tell me. But no, I was like, oh yeah, it's just too mustache twirling. And I'm like, really?
What?
Have you Peter Cushing? Your rebel friends soon enough.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling me that Star Wars, all the villains are white British fucking guys who would tie some to a railroad track. Right. Like they're your rebel friends soon enough. Palpatine is not a fucking over the top villain. But these are young kids who are supposed to be with it, as they say. And fucking hip to some shit.
Who's they?
The young people or the internet.
So the young people think these young people are hip. Okay.
I'm not sure. Right? Aren't the kids supposed to be better?
Who thinks who's hip?
Yeah. I think I broke a hip.
Yeah,
But they were doing turds. You know what I mean? I'm like, I hadn't watched it yet, but I watched it. I'm like, those kids are fucking punk ass motherfuckers, dude.
so let me say one thing. You kind of covered this, Raven Shadow. If I don't like, I just cannot fathom. Like, I get it. Like, people who grew up with Star Wars, it wasn't very diverse. The original trilogy, it's not very diverse. Like, I can think of, there's a handful of people of color in the original trilogy, and we have Billy D is one of them, and then there's like a couple like side characters, like Wilrow Hood, which has like a fucking tiny scene where he's running with a fucking ice cream maker that ends up becoming the Camtono that we see in Mandalorian. But like, there's literally, no representation in the original trilogy.
There may have been one other black Bespin guard in one.
You're right. There was. He was one of the cloud car, the twin car
operators,
pilots. Yeah.
There was literally 2 chicks, maybe 3. There was Leia, the Snice Noodles, the green one, and the chick who got eaten by.
I mean, there was more than that. There was like Mon Mothma. There is, but yeah, there's not a lot.
Maybe 5 chicks in a galaxy far, far
yeah,
away.
We have
right?
all white dudes, and
all the Empire is British, which you figure they probably culled out all the fucking smart, other diversified people, and that's why they lost.
Yeah, probably. But it's so just look at that. I mean, and look at how far we've come from 1977. Racism, like Ku Klux Klan, was still very much, I mean, it's still a thing now, but like, it was accepted back then, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, Raven Child.
I don't think it was. I think they shot in England, and they shot on that's who they had. I don't think there was anything intentionally not to do.
There wasn't. I mean, if I'm not mistaken.
No. I mean, I think it was. I mean, not like they were like, we can only hire white people, but it was Hollywood in '77.
Right.
If there was I mean, you know what? Fuck it. If they needed a pimp, they would have hired a black guy. Like, that was Hollywood in '77. Like, if you hired a white guy unless you needed a stereotypical black guy. That is what they did.
Right, you want a John, you get a white guy. You get a pimp, you get a black guy. There you go.
Yeah, and it was wrong. Yes, I said it, and yeah, it was wrong for Hollywood to do that. But that is what they did.
Also, I mean, no one is accusing George Lucas of being racist. Like, no. I just want to add to that. I just want to make that clear, because as Aries just said, yes, that's how Hollywood was. That's how the world was. But George's new wife is black. Like, they've been married since 2013. Like, just throwing that out there, But Moses Ingram, when they hired her, they basically had to say, are you okay with getting online hate for playing this role? Like, they are prepared for this now because of what Kelly Marie Tran went through and some of the other actors from the sequels. And now it's so sad that they have to warn her that she's going to be like harassed online for this. And it's fucking bullshit. If you have a problem with Moses Ingram in this show, go fuck yourself, turn this podcast off, and never listen. That's it. I don't want you to listen. So fuck off if that's how you feel. So, like, you can have issues with the writing or anything like that, I guess, but I feel like immediately people are jumping on it and being like, oh, I don't like her. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like people had an issue with Rey having a woman play the main Jedi protagonist in the sequels. And I thought she was fucking awesome. I love that character. And it's just bullshit. People are so they're just so out of touch with the rest of the world. Like, we even I heard a story of like like someone who grew up with a family of black, a black family. There's like 3 kids. They all had to fight over who got to play Lando Calrissian, right? Because he's like the one black guy. So you think of like, when 70s, 80s, like you're a black kid in America or wherever, and you love Star Wars, and you have one person that you can potentially identify with, and he's a scoundrel too. So like, it's, he kind of comes around in the end, but he's, you don't have someone with good strong morals to look up to in a galaxy far, far away.
You get to be Han Solo. You get to be the black Han Solo, and that's a shitty thing to say. It's different, but I mean, like, but right, that's the thing. Like,
well, but even like he was worse than Han Solo at the in Empire.
Right.
In Jedi, he redeemed himself.
Yeah, he turned him in and did the deal with Vader.
Well, what are you gonna do when Vader shows up? You're gonna fucking, this is the deal, and he altered the deal. Han fucking shot people.
Well,
and
we're not debating his actions. I'm just saying what happened on screen.
You could argue that Chewie made him turn back. Once again, Han years later went out for a pack of smokes and left Leia and the kid. You know what I mean? He's like, that's your bloodline. You fucking Skywalkers are crazy. Chewie, come on. Fuck the fuck.
We'll get all the backstory there. Don't assume.
Dude, he hated Leia so he had to get out of that relationship so bad he left the Falcon on Tatooine. He's like, fuck it, Chewie, we'll get a new one.
Don't assume.
Johnny.
Don't assume.
The dude left. Why would Han leave the Falcon? You're out of your Falcon mind if he would leave the Falcon.
So you're saying he would leave his ship because of a woman?
No, I just think he was tired of all the rebellion in the Skywalker family, and you know what?
Okay,
Chewie,
but how does that leave the ship?
he just didn't. He had to leave. He had to go. He just had to go.
Yeah.
And
If I have to go, I'm going in my truck. I'm not leaving the truck. I'm going in the truck.
Sometimes you gotta go. You just gotta leave your ship, and you gotta fucking make a run for it.
Yeah, he runs faster in the ship. Don't assume you know what happened. You know what? You write the story as to why he left, and we'll see if they'll make a major motion picture.
I'll write that. It'll be better than fucking Battle for Endor. I'll tell you that much. I'll write that right down tonight. We'll write that.
Yeah, go bang that out. Go ahead. Right now, me and Johnny will finish the show.
Yeah, when you go down for a smoke, you can bang it out, Raven Shadow. Okay.
I will. Chapter 1. Han is fucking sick of Leia's shit and the Skywalker bloodline, bad kids, and the incest. I'm fucking done. I miss Lando. Chewie, come on. Chapter 2.
All right. Well, I want to. We've been talking for a while.
Wrap this up.
Yeah. We'll wrap this up. So, let's see. Was there anything else? I think we covered most of the stuff. So we kind of ran the gamut there for a bit. We didn't even talk about, actually, now that I say that, I have one more question. Did anyone watch any of Stranger Things season 4 yet?
I watched 1.
Yeah, same here. I watched the first episode. That's it.
And Raven Shaw hasn't watched season 2 yet, so you can't even fucking include him. And don't even mention his name, because he will just go on some tangent about how he hasn't fucking watched it yet. Don't look shocked. That's what you fucking did the last time. But I did enjoy. I'm not even fucking pausing, so you can't even fucking interject. I did enjoy this episode, but it was completely different than the rest of the show.
I agree. Yeah, but the thing I liked. I mean, this is a much bigger season in terms of budget, in terms of the runtime of the episodes and everything.
Yes.
So I feel like it. There's a lot of setup that they're getting to. I did like the end. I thought that was outrageous. The end.
Oh my god, I wasn't ready for that.
I know. I thought that was phenomenal. I like some of the new characters. I like that metalhead D&D DM guy. I thought he was,
yeah.
He
was
awesome.
amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all. I've only seen the first episode. I'll probably watch a few more this weekend, hopefully. But Raven Shadow, you should watch season 2. Go back, a few years into the past and watch it.
I'm trying, man. There's so much content.
You're not trying.
No, it's okay things. Trying to get through Titans. I got fucking new season of Mayans. I still got to watch last season of Animal Kingdom. There's so much going on. Like, I know. We'll see what's going
But
on.
yeah, in the past, you've spoken about revisiting movies that you've seen 100 times.
Because that comes down. It's easy because I can just watch it and not think about things and just kind
But
of.
you know what? But that's Stranger Things. It's not. It's Stranger Things isn't like a deep, mental show.
Yeah, but maybe let's throw the fucking Blues Brothers on. You know what I mean? It just, Jake and Elwood calm me down.
God damn it! I try.
Coney,
I try.
I mean. No, I will. Stranger Things fun. You know what I mean? I ain't hating.
Stranger Things fun.
Yeah, fun.
All right.
I like the guy that was in the Black Widow movie. He was new Hellboy. He's fun. There's too much content.
Yeah, too much content, and yet you keep on revisiting the same content.
I get attached to things.
Oh my god! You know what? I mean, at the risk of derailing this conversation about Raven Shadow revisiting everything, I just want to express what a horrible day I had today at work.
Please,
because some of our listeners may appreciate this. I know one in particular will completely understand. I arrived at the job site today, and I took my full coffee cup, and I put it on the bumper of my truck, and then I proceeded to start telling people what to do. And someone decided they were going to open the tailgate to my truck and spilled my entire coffee onto the ground. I was at a job site with no coffee maker, and I was in a bad mood. This guy, he almost started running to Dunkin' Donuts. he started backpedaling when I looked up at him, because I've made it known, you don't bother me with anything until I've had at least half my coffee. And I had 2 sips at that point. And I'm staring down at my coffee cup, my coffee mug that is laying on the ground with the lid broken, and the coffee is just running to the storm drain. My day was horrible.
Oh my god.
That was at 7:20. I don't get a break until 9:00. I went from 7:20 until 9:00 before I could get another coffee. That's a long fucking day.
Wow.
That is the end of my rant. I'm sorry. That's just like that. Oh, no coffee. That's bad for me. That is almost like being at night and not having whiskey.
Turns out that dude dead now.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's either fired or dead.
Guess
he wanted to get into a truck and drive to get me a coffee, and I was like, no, we need to work.
No,
get a coffee. I will get a coffee at break.
Chocolate coming, motherfucker.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up. And if you guys want to help support the show, there's a few ways you can do so. The best way, and the reason I say best, is because there's a transactional part of this. You give us something, we give you something back. So if you support us on Patreon, for as little as $2 a month, you get access to all of our monthly Patreon exclusive episodes. And we're going to be recording one this upcoming weekend. So we'll be dropping, within a day or two of that. So we'll have that out there for you guys. And I think there's 35 or 6 other episodes on there. So you can get access to all of the back issues, so to speak. So you can check that out. And then we also have, we actually have been talking about doing, we need to figure out the details of this, but we've been tossing around kind of a cool new idea. I don't want to say anything because we need permission to do this. But if we're able to do it, I think we will have a cool thing coming up soon. So we obviously when we have more information, we'll announce that. But so yeah, we're trying to do something a little bit more on Discord because we haven't done a Monsterpiece Theater Movie Club in a while. And I want to, sort of, if we, at least do one of those or make up for it with something else. And also maybe, I don't know, maybe start talking about a blackout tapes this summer, Raven Shadow. Doesn't have to be, Marion says, I love this idea. Oh, she must know, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, wait, did I say what it was? Did I give it away?
I peel behind the curtain.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So that might happen. If it does, it should be cool, like a kind of a unique experience kind of deal. But yeah, the best way to get in on that is to join our Patreon, patreon.com/trickortreatradio. And as I said, you can join for as little as $2 a month. Like really, like $2 a month. Like your fucking bank fees are probably more than that. Or I guess whatever bank you use, it depends. But some people talking about coffee areas, your coffee probably costs more than $2, right? Or
no, I have a coffee maker in my office.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, if you were to get it from Dunkin's, it probably would cost more than $2.
His lid cost $2, dude. That's fucking so much.
No. I bought work gloves and they came with a coffee mug.
Wait.
Free coffee mug.
Wait, buy these gloves to get a free coffee mug?
Yes. And they actually, because I had weird story. I was going to buy these gloves. I was walking around a big box chain home improvement store. I had these gloves in my hand, and then I came upon a mug with that name brand. And I was like, buy the mug, get the gloves. And I was like, that's $2 cheaper. I'm buying the mug and the gloves. And that mug served me well until today.
Aww.
The mug is solid because it's metal, but the lid was plastic. I did not survive.
Whoops. So, yeah, help support us on Patreon. Maybe we'll get Aries a new lid. Also, the other ways you can help support, you can go to trickortreatradio.com. You go to the main page, scroll down, you're going to see an Amazon logo. You click that, it brings you to Amazon. It inputs our affiliate link. Everything you purchase in that session will get attributed to us. It doesn't cost them any extra, Michael Ravenshadow.
But it's another way to help buy some new lids for your coffee cup.
There you go. See that? That's what I'm fucking talking about. Fucking diversify.
Wow.
Change it up every fucking week.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Off the cuff.
That's what happens when we get together, man. That's what happens when we spend the night together. That was fun, wasn't it?
You guys spent the night
Evening.
Evening.
Did you,
Clarify.
Ravenshadow, did you put some Uncrustables out on the nightstand when Aries spent the night?
He didn't speak. No, he left. He left early.
You said he spent the night.
Yeah, you see what you imply with that?
Oh, I ended up just me and my Uncrustable by myself.
Oh, Aries, Corny asked a question like an hour ago. I meant to ask, but he said, "Did Aries recover his xenomorph mug?"
You know what? I thought about grabbing it, but I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it there because it is not out of the question that I would return to the studio.
Oh,
so
look at that!
I really wanted to leave it there for that, and I have glasses here that almost live up to the xenomorph mug. I have Star Wars glasses here that I drink out of.
Were they the Burger King ones?
No. They're actually they're Obi-Wan Kenobi glasses.
Oh, nice.
They say if you strike me down, I should become more powerful than you possibly can imagine, and a lightsaber.
I'm gonna strike Ravenshadow fucking down. Just walking.
Oh
away.
my God, where did he go?
We're literally
right in the
about
middle
to
of me
fucking
talking.
end this. Yeah.
God damn it.
Jesus Christ. All right. Well, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna end it. The other way you can help support is trickortreatradio.com. Scroll down, you look for the store, and then there you can buy the greatest hits of Trick or Treat Radio volumes 1 through 3. There you go. All right, Ravenshadow, you sit down to watch this movie. You won't be alone. What do you do to prepare?
Oh, kid, I sit down and then I fucking do it. I do a lot of useless shit, and then I just, when I talk to Ollie, and oh my God, Jesus, kid, and then I strap it on.
The following message is a paid advertisement for the Cult of Muscle podcast. The Cult of Muscle. You're either in it or you're dead.
It's the dawning of a new age. The halls of Valhalla have been shuttered. The heroes of yore have either retreated to the shadows or taken to capering for the amusement of the small folk. Their past glories a distant memory. The barbells have been torn from their once puma-strong grips. The beards shorn from their square jaws, only to be transplanted onto flannel-clad, puny weaklings with fingers barely powerful enough to strum a ukulele. The time has come, my brothers, to restore order from the chaos. No longer will our heroes be forgotten. No longer will their great deeds be viewed through a foggy lens of irony. Hear now our rallying cry as we scream it from the mountaintops, as we bellow it from iTunes and Libsyn and Facebook. It's time to join the cult, my brothers. So don your cloaks and enter the Cult of Muscle.
I'm Alex West.
And I'm Andrea Subasati, and we're from the Faculty of Horror podcast.
And you're listening to Trick or Treat Radio.
You go through your week with the same old routine.
What you really want is some blood and thunder in your life.
Well, friend, you found it.
The Cromcast is an adventurous journey through the history of two-fisted pulp stories.
With your hosts, John,
Josh,
and Luke.
We have action,
horror,
and adventure, all through the lens of pulp luminary Robert E. Howard.
Don't just stay in your ordinary life.
Find your pulp life at thecromcast.blogspot.com.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
The Cromcast.
A podcast for the barbarian at heart.
All right, we have returned. Well, two of us. He's really not back after all that time.
I was, because I had to leave myself. I was wondering whether he came back and left again.
I think we can assume that he didn't. He makes assumptions, so we can do the same. All right. Well, we're going to talk about our feature film this week, and the name of the movie is You Won't Be Alone, and it is 1 hour 48 minutes, rated R. It got released in 2022. It had I think a limited theatrical release, and then popped up on VOD, I think a couple weeks back, and it's actually on Peacock now, so if you guys do want to check this out and you have Peacock. I think we talked about this last week. I think it's free with ads. So you can just get it for free and just have to endure some ads. The film is written and directed by Goran Stolevsky, and it stars Numi Rapace, Elise Englert, Anna Maria Marinka, Sarah Klimovska, Verica Nedeska, and Carlotto Kata. And the synopsis: in an isolated mountain village in 19th century Macedonia, a young girl is kidnapped and then transformed into a witch by an ancient spirit. All right, so don't put your fucking hand up. You left early. You didn't get to do...
The teapot has returned.
Yeah. You left early, so you didn't even get to, like, do your thing. They'll lead us into break. Aries had to do it.
Don't worry. I did a spot-on interpretation of you.
It's actually better.
Fair. I thought we were going to keep going longer, but my teeth were fucking floating, and I had to go.
Your teeth were floating. I know what that means, but explain that to folks. Why are your teeth floating?
I had to.
Did you have to tinkle?
Yeah.
So it filled up so much that it was actually you had pee in your mouth. Is that what I'm to believe?
Well, that's a little bit literal. I was speaking more metaphorical, but I had to. You know, I said right back. I followed the new protocols.
What is the new protocol?
Announcing when you leave.
You did not announce it.
I did not hear anything.
Yeah, you did not announce bullshit.
I said right back, and I thought we were going to do.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No.
Marion.
Did you say it while someone else was talking?
I can't speak to. go Celtics.
I just put the game on. I fucking talking to you guys. I forgot the finals are on. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go bees. No, it's fucking Bruins. Go.
Jesus Christ.
Go.
Really? Did you just say that?
Go bees.
Hey, go basketball team. Yeah.
He's so proud of himself. He recovered. He's so proud of himself.
Yeah, I am.
So, what were we talking about?
You said True Blue was about a guy.
Oh, God damn it. Go smoke.
Thank you.
Just go.
So, yeah, we're talking about the movie, I think, or we're about to.
Yeah, you were talking about the movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, so I will say the one thing that's interesting about this. So I've heard a lot of, I've seen some good stuff about this. You know, it is definitely, I think, a potentially divisive movie. A lot of it is a folk horror movie, so you know it's based in folklore for, you know, I don't know if this is specifically Macedonian folklore, but I think there's kind of a twist on it. But still, by the way, Ravenshaw, do you know where Macedonia is?
Yeah, it's near Rhode Island in New Hampshire. No, I don't know what Macedonia.
Oh my God.
You could just simply say, I am unfamiliar.
No, he can't admit that. He can't say that.
I am unfamiliar with Macedonia. Macedonia, what's it called again?
Macedonia.
Who makes the Matchbox cars? It's Malaysia. I'm not sure. Is it still a place? Is it still a place, or is it like one of those like? Is it like did it become something new? Macedonia.
All right, so I did read a little bit up on this. I hope I get it correct, but so Macedonia is in it's in Europe, but it's kind of like southern Europe, I guess. It's borders Greece and Bulgaria. And let me see, just pull up a map here. So I'm not sure if I'm getting this all correct. So like I'm just trying to remember and not read it. So the region is like actually let me just pull something up here because I want to make sure I get these right. So today the region is considered to include parts of 6 Balkan countries, larger parts in Greece, North Macedonia, and Bulgaria, and smaller parts of Albania, Serbia, and Kosovo. And so I think the thing of this is, like in ancient times, like 4th century BC, the Kingdom of Macedonia was a dominant power in Europe, So I think, if I recall correctly, what I read is they basically took the name Macedonia and renamed this land. So I don't think it's the actual Macedonia. I hope I'm not completely wrong on that, but it does make up a large portion of it is in Serbia. And this film was made exclusively in Serbia. So all the stuff that we see was filmed in Serbia. But there is, but it is, no matter which way you look at it, I guess it's kind of Slovakian territory and some Slovakian lore being used in this. So, all right, so went through the cast. I gave all the details here. Let's see if I can find some other info. Okay, so I'm not very familiar with this director. Like, actually, I should say I'm not familiar with this director at all. Goran Stilevsky, but previous to this, he does have some other. He's done shorts, and he also did a TV series called Nowhere Boys. I don't know. I'm not sure what country this show is from. Trying to find out here. Nowhere Boys. Have you guys ever heard of it?
Nope.
Okay, it looks like it says country of origin is Australia. So, looks like it's an Australian show called The Nowhere Boys. So yeah, I mean, previous to this, he doesn't have a lot of feature film experience. So this is his feature film debut. And it's interesting because I feel like this film is, I mean, obviously we'll get into whether we liked it or not, but I feel like this film had the makings of someone who has experience making films. Like I feel like this would be a difficult film for a first-time filmmaker to make. So I felt that this was someone who had a little bit of experience, and that's why I was actually a little surprised to see that it's his feature film debut. So, the one thing that kind of threw me off is that if you look at the poster, Noomi Rapace is on the poster, and she's listed as top billing in this, and just to set your expectations, she's in it for about 15 or 20 minutes.
I'm not recognized her.
You didn't recognize her?
I don't think I did.
So she was the one that gave birth at the beginning, where the girl was kind of watching, and someone gave birth standing up against a fence, and then the baby was crying in, so that was her. But yeah, so she was also an executive producer as well on this, so she still had her fingerprints on this. But this is definitely sort of a very sort of reserved folk horror. I wouldn't necessarily liken it to The Witch, but in a way it was similar where there's not a ton that happens, but it's a very much a mood piece, and you kind of have to follow what's going on, So, I will say, and we'll get into it, but I will say, when I was watching this, I was thinking, these guys are gonna fucking hate this movie. Like, I could just see both you guys being like, "What the fuck are you doing? What is going on here?" That's all. I was just like imagining. I'm like, fuck. So you guys don't have to say whether that's true or not, but at least not yet. But it's an interesting movie in the setup. So we have the very beginning. There is a witch. I think was it old maid Maria? Was that what they called her? I believe. Yeah, Maria. I think it was old maid Maria. So she's kind of like this.
Old May Maria, old May.
She has a bit of a reputation, it seems, around these parts, around this village. And so she inhabits the body of a cat, and we find out that she's a shapeshifter. So, and the way this isn't, once again, I don't want to give too much in the way of spoilers. I don't think this is a spoiler because it happens very early on. But the way that they shapeshift is they have I thought they had some kind of cool lore to this, and I don't think I've seen anything like this or heard anything like this. So that's why I'm not sure if it's a kind of Macedonian folklore or if it's like a twist on it. But basically, the witch will mark you by kind of like giving you these like 3 cuts where their fingernails in your chest near your clavicle, I guess, or near your neck and above your pec, in that area. And so you have this little these 3 little slices, and then she spits blood on it, and then you're sort of marked. And then if you want to shapeshift, you have to take the organs. I don't know if there's specific organs or all of them, but you have to take organs from a living creature and put them in that hole so that you can turn into that thing. So when we first see it at the beginning, we see a cat walking, and and then the cat walks off screen, and then you hear these horrible breaking sounds and it was like, oh man. But then you see the cat walking in the opposite direction, and I was like, "Oh, okay, just some weird sounds." But later we find out, just a little bit later, we find out that the witch does this, takes organs and puts them in her body. Someone talk. I got a cough fit here.
Oh, it's funny because I watched that late last night. I had to rewind that scene. So I'm like, wait, what the fuck? So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck? And I was waiting for something terrible. I'm like, oh, the cat came back the very next day. The cat walked back into frame. I'm like, well, that's a little fucking. What happened? So that's something that took me out of it or into it, if you will. You know what I mean?
I don't, because that's 2 different things. Did it take you out of it or put you into it?
I don't know.
It almost took me out, and then it pulled me back in because I didn't think that the cat had died. But later on, we see that she will, let me cut to another part real quick. So she finds this mother who has a newborn child, and the mother comes downstairs and sees this old witch, and she's burned she's horrifying. She has very thin wispy hair on her head, and she burns all over her body. And you're like, okay, what the fuck? And she basically wants to take the child, but the woman barters with her in a way and says, you can't have her till she's 16. Let me just raise her. And then basically says, I'll do, I'll prove to you that I'm like whatever. Like, so she like marks herself on her arm, and then the witch says in order for it to both need to have the mark or something like that. So she does something, and it's not clear what she does. I wasn't sure, but all of a sudden the child stops crying, and I was watching it with T-Dog, and we thought that she tore out her tongue.
Yeah.
But there wasn't anything to lead you to believe that she pulled her tongue out. But all of a sudden, the child couldn't speak. And that was obvious. They made it clear that the child wasn't crying anymore, or making noise. So she somehow removed the ability to speak. I'm not sure exactly how she did it. I thought maybe she tore out her tongue, but there was nothing other than a little blood at the mouth to make me believe that she did that. So, and then the mother takes the child to a cave and like sort of protects it, like does some protection or something, and then basically leaves her like infant daughter there, and then we'll go check up on her, look like every day or something, like every day she'd go, or every few days, bring her some stale bread, and then like give her like the quickest like cleaning you could imagine, like like a wet towel, and just kind of wipe her off a little bit. And then when the girl seemingly turned 16, we all of a sudden, I think, did you guys get what kind of bird that was? I thought it was an eagle at first, and I thought maybe it was a falcon.
It looked like an eagle to me.
Yeah, at first I thought eagle, and then I thought maybe it was a falcon. But anyways, a big bird comes in there, and then we see the bird sort of fly off to the side of the cave, and then the mother goes over that direction, and then we see the mother coming back out from behind a rock or something like that, and it is the witch basically is now shape-shifting as the girl's mother. So, and the thing is, the interesting thing about this is the girl is 16 now, like seemingly. I think she was 16, and she has been raised in a cave. She doesn't know how to communicate, and she had like basically no outside anything aside from her mother coming every few days to check on her. So, I mean, I think the interesting part about that is it makes for a really interesting look at humanity from her perspective, because she doesn't know much, right? Like she hasn't been programmed or conditioned or anything, so she has almost like a beginner's mind or a child's mind or whatever, like, but she's 16. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then the witch takes her, and they go outside, and she's kind of exploring nature and is kind of amazed by what she's seeing, because she's never seen this, like basically when she was an infant, she was put in this cave. So then they kind of go, just kind of wandering around, and Ravenshallow's going to go, even though he didn't say anything.
And then Mark, I'll be right back.
So, and then there's some interaction between them, and she's kind of, the witch is kind of teaching her a little bit about, nature and things around her. And then at one point, this is kind of what I was referencing, she starts, like, all of a sudden she's walking away, and we see her pulling what looks like internal organs out of herself and dropping them, like basically making a trail of internal organs as they walk. And then she goes from looking like the girl's mother to this witch again. And then we see sort of okay, now, like, yeah, this is the witch. And that's how they shapeshift, was to take kill somebody and take their internal organs and put them inside that hole in their chest to take on the appearance of that person. Do you have any thoughts on the series?
I mean, I mean, at this point in the movie, I must have said "what the fuck" 5 times.
Yeah,
like there was just like,
and this is like 15 minutes in, maybe.
Yeah,
20.
yeah, we're not diving that deep into the 2-hour movie at this point. Like, and this movie is subtitled, and I think there was a little bit of, I don't know, like the
translation.
Translation, like the subtitles weren't smooth, like as far as the way an English person would speak, which caused me to have a little bit of trouble with that. I don't know if you got that same feeling reading those. Like it didn't come off smoothly.
Yeah, I think that I wasn't sure if it was a choice, because in a way it almost seemed poetic in a way, you know. So that's why I wasn't sure. But yeah, I know what you're saying. There's very little dialogue. Like it's mostly monologue. And so, and also, I mean, even that, there's not even a ton of monologue. So you could watch this movie without reading a lot, because a lot of it is just context and watching what takes place. So
and you, I mean, you say monologue, it's more of an internal monologue.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. Yep. So yeah. So then we find out the witch. And then we kind of get a sense of what's going on. And then she shows her this village, and, we kind of see a woman giving birth, who is the woman's played by Numi Rapace. And then the girl, the 16-year-old girl, who is actually, I'm trying to see, did we know her name? The girl, I don't know if they ever said her name, like the original daughter, like the girl before she, shapeshifted. I'm looking here.
I don't recall.
I think the actress who portrayed her, this is the one. She looks like this is her. Is Sarah Klimovska, and she played a character named Navina. I don't remember that name being spoken, so that must be her. But she gets curious of, because she sees other people, and she's, she literally has never seen other people, so she's curious about them, and then goes and she hears a baby crying, and then goes to see the baby, and then that's when the mother, played by Numi Rapace, comes in, and this girl, she's a witch, and she has very fucking sharp claws, and she accidentally kills the mother, played by Numi Rapace. And so she had seen the witch and what she had done, and so she took these organs and put them in her body, and then became this character, that Numi Rapace played. Bolsilka, I think is her name. So then she becomes this character, and we see the world through her eyes, and you can tell right away that people know something's up. Like the people around her know something's up. But they, but they're not quite sure what it is. And so I think it was the mother-in-law, if I'm not mistaken, is kind of showing her the ropes a little bit, and kind of showing her how to be a person. And you get to see kind of this interesting look at this village life. And, this takes place in the 19th century. So obviously things were a little bit different back then. We see a very clear delineation between the men and the women. The men go out and, plow the fields and do all the work, and the women stay at home and they cook and they clean and that sort of thing. And basically the woman is basically property to the husband in this, and they, the men will slap the woman, and they'll just basically take what they want. If they want to have sex, they'll just take the woman, and no consent. Like it's their, they view it as their wife, and that's just what they do. So it can be a tough watch at times because it's like, ooh, like, but I think the interesting part about this is seeing it through kind of different eyes. I won't say too much more than that, but we see the way that this village lives through different eyes. We experience it in different ways. And I thought it was kind of interesting the way that they showed that. So I think Ravenshell's getting the baby. So we get to kind of see it through the eyes of a woman, and we get to see it through the eyes of a man, and we get to see it through the eyes of a child. So I thought that it was interesting the way they showed it, and some of the interactions with the characters, like especially when she's playing, when Numi Rapace is playing when she's shapeshifting as Numi Rapace's character. We see her interactions with the older women, and it's almost like they were teaching her. T-Dog had actually called this out, and I'm glad that she did. Said that they're basically like she's learning empathy because she talked about like smiling when they smile, and and like, yeah, it was. You gonna say something, Raven Shadow?
Well, there's a lot of talk about the mouth. Women have them open around company and
around other women. Like, yeah, they can open their mouths, they can talk, they can smile, they can cry, or whatever. Like, not necessarily cry, but with men, it was the opposite. They keep their mouths shut, and then that's when their tears come out. When they cry.
Or like eye water or something. They had a weird saying for it.
Yeah.
They did say eye water. Yeah.
Right, I can't make my eyes water or something like that. It reminded me a lot of that wedding we went to many years ago. Some of the dialogue.
So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting to seeing the difference here, and then we got to see it from the men's perspective, and then from the child's perspective, and yeah, I just thought it was interesting, and this almost felt like. And I don't mean by the writing when I say that it felt like a poem. It was almost like different stanzas in like it was like, okay, this is like one stanza, and this is another, and then this is another, and then it all sort of comes together at the end. Like that's kind of how it felt, the way it was structured to me. I thought it looked really good. I mean, this is I think it's not. It had like a different kind of aspect ratio. Trying to see if I can find out what the aspect it was 1:4:4, so it had like a kind of like a almost square aspect ratio, which I thought was interesting.
Now far be it for me to disagree with T-Dog, because normally she's spot on when she makes observations, but I didn't get the feeling that the women were teaching her about these.
No, they weren't teaching
feelings.
Her. She was learning it.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah, but it wasn't. But I don't think she was necessarily learning it, or learning to act like it. Like, because there was a lot of just her mimicking the facial expressions and the sounds.
Yeah.
Of the other women.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I think. I guess the main point is she doesn't have she's never had interaction with other women like that aside from her mother and the witch. So, and this is like a lot more innocent, like it's just kind of like trying to have moments of levity between like the stresses of being a housewife to these men, so.
Yeah, she was trying to fit in, but the other women, like, they weren't understanding, like, because they'd give her weird looks because she wasn't, although she was mimicking the same emotions and actions, it wasn't at the proper time. So they were just kind of very, very standoffish to it. And I mean, even before this, one of the other men said, I believe it was she has the woman sickness or something to that effect, where it was just like whatever possible mental illness would happen in that day and age, like she has that, so it was just like you just kind of disregard her.
Oh, I thought,
and just kind of tolerate her.
Yeah, I thought what they meant was like her period, but
I think it was just that was it was like a catch-all. Any little thing was the woman illness.
Yeah. So there's that whole part, and then we get to see her from sort of a men's perspective, the story, and that was more. It was more obvious, right? Like people could tell something was up. Whereas with the woman, like they were like, yeah, like there may like she may have like a sickness, but with from the guy's perspective, it was a different story. They were like, yeah, like it must be possessed or something like that, So I thought it was interesting to see the dichotomy between the two. And then we had as a child, we saw a kind of perspective of a child, and it seemed like that's where she was happiest, because there wasn't the pressure of taking care of the men, and there wasn't, the pressure of cleaning and cooking, like cooking and cleaning. Like she could just kind of do her thing and have fun and have other people kind of wait on her and braid her hair and whatever, So like, I feel like she got to be a child for a change. Right. So, and then, I don't want to go too much further than that, but then, we see her age a little bit as that character, as the girl. And then we kind of see what comes of that. But then we learn a little bit more about the old Maria, the old maid, and see how her story kind of parallels a little bit. But yeah, this is a very not necessarily soft spoken, but it's a very quiet sort of almost like a not necessarily a character study, but it's there's no explosions, there's not a lot of blood, there's not a lot of stuff that happens. It's one of those movies that you have to be keyed in on, you have to be into what they're doing, or like I could see just being like, what the fuck, I could just totally see that. I thought that like where they shot it, like I generally I liked the look of this film. I like the way they captured the this village and the woods and everything. Like, so I generally dug a lot of that stuff. And the movie definitely gets a little heartbreaking as well. It's a little tragic at times, but I don't know. Like unfortunately, this isn't a movie that like is rife with like discussion. Like I don't think there's a lot to really discuss about it.
Without really just diving into spoiling everything about this movie, there isn't too much really to discuss.
So, I want to get Ray Michelle's opinion, but he walked away again. Ollie's running amok.
He's running amok. He's insatiable.
Insatiable. Really?
There's definitely some gender stuff going on. Like there were definitely some bros frolicking in the fucking frolic in the fields, but we haven't seen a lot before.
They were having a very different guy time than we had over the weekend.
Yeah, they weren't watching AEW.
No, I mean to be fair, they were just a couple of four bros nude running in the woods, and they saw some other beautiful.
Oh yeah, what about that team sport action that we saw?
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay. I can honestly say I've never heard of that, even of four bros just kind of hanging out and like rubbing one out together.
Yeah, no, they left that out of the history books.
Maybe it just happens in Macedonia. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I'll say, like Aries and Tom Smythe, we really enjoyed that trios match. That was not how we celebrated it.
Yeah.
We just had a couple of beers and that was really.
Yeah, you guys went in the tub and just peed.
Yeah, we all pee in the shower together. That's not weird, but no. Yeah, a couple of bros. What do you call that? A quattro bros firing off a couple of rounds. Yeah, haven't seen that before. That's weird. And there was some man shaming when he slept with the witch. That was weird stuff. A lot of spitting. It's a weird dichotomy that was going on. You know, it sucks. Don't be in a village.
Don't be in a village. Okay.
Yeah, the 1900s. You know, I mean, like we're not that much better now, but like I'm just
19th
glad
century.
Yeah. What are we in the 20th?
21st, buddy.
You're in the 20th.
Yeah.
We're in the 21st.
Yeah. That was a good century. Everything was good. Good music. Oh yeah, no, yeah, a lot of dudes just being not naked bros, which is fine. Good. Have naked bros. That's fun.
Have naked bros.
Yeah, there's some naked, lovely. There was some nudity. There was some sexy time in this picture. Right?
Were you cool with that?
I'm always cool with that. But yeah, show equal opportunity. It's good. Weird.
Oh God, Jesus.
So yeah, I mean, literally, there's not a lot to talk about without getting into super spoiler territory, and you know, it's not even like super spoilery, but like I don't want to talk about like what happens to some of the characters where there's a lot to sort of like discuss there, but I don't know, like it was an interesting look at this. It's not a movie that you know I'm gonna like go back and revisit. But you know, like I'm glad I saw it once, and you know, I think there's definitely some interesting stuff in this.
And there was some good gore too. I mean, like when we talked about how they did the transformations or what caused transformations, like that was wow. That's okay. That's a fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like there was some good gore that they used. I think the burn gore was pretty good. And it was really good, actually. I'm not going to criticize any of the effects they had. I thought it was very, very well done.
Actually, I didn't like the burn gore.
Really?
Yeah. I thought later when it seemed like she was on screen more, it seemed like they spent a little more time. But early on when it was just like, you know, quick shots, it seemed more of like someone who was just in the pool too long. Like it didn't. Yeah, it seemed just a little more wrinkly than burned scar tissue. Like I don't know if it was like reshoots or something. It at times it was a little lackluster.
All right, I thought it was fine. It made me sort of wonder at first, like it didn't scream burn victim to me at first. I was kind of curious if she was just really old and like super shrivelly. So maybe I guess in that regard, I you know, it wasn't clear at first, but then you know,
have you seen a lot of grandmas that look like that?
Well, to be fair, she is a witch, so we don't know how old she lives, right?
Well, fair. I'm just saying that, like, you know, I've been to a couple of nursing homes. I've never seen someone look like.
Well, of course. I mean, I don't mean a real fucking person who's like 75 or whatever.
Like Betty White was 99. She looks better than Aries. Like I don't know. Hey, Aries looks good.
You're gonna take that shot.
I'm sorry. All right, edit this, Johnny. Betty White was 99. She looks better than Monster Zero. Fair?
All right, that's good. Yeah, he won't listen to this.
Fucking mean.
All right. Well, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can really talk about. I mean, did you guys have any opinions on the way it was shot or anything like that?
Oh, I did want to interrupt you. You you mentioned this early on. I did want to give my opinion on this. You mentioned that you thought it seemed like an established director had shot this, and you were surprised that it was a first timer. I actually got the feeling that it was a first time director, but someone that spent a lot of time in the industry or just watching cinema from a very young age or for a very long time, because it did seem to have a fresh feel to it, but at the same time, someone who knew what they were doing.
Okay. How about you, Raven Shadow? Any opinions on the look, feel?
No, I thought it was I did think it was a beautifully shot film. They obviously took whatever they filmed, they had an intention for. Like, I don't think there's anything that was wasted. They had a clearly defined thing they were going to shoot. And that was fun.
That was fun.
It's fun. I mean, it looked great. I would check for ticks for a lot of the places they filmed in.
I don't think ticks were as much of an issue back then.
Oh, they had ticks back in the day. They had fucking big ticks back in the day.
How do you know? Were you there?
The biggest ticks of them all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when were ticks invented? I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
When were ticks invented? Ask Baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus pick up. No, I'm pretty sure after the dinosaurs, right? Like, I mean.
Yeah. We had the flow of like creation of life was dinosaurs, ticks.
Yeah. Who's still around? Just saying.
Dinosaurs.
There's no dinosaurs. I mean, Luchasaurus.
Yeah. Also alligators.
Yeah, Luchasaurus and alligators. No, ticks suck. But no, it was fine. It was a beautiful film. I mean, like, maybe Q Buster, because a lot of what do you call it? A lot of grass and sides.
A lot of grass.
Yeah. A lot of handsome dudes.
Was there? You attracted to those dudes?
No, I mean, once again, just represent.
Just represent.
Represent, yo.
All right, well, let's fucking do it.
Trick or treat, baby. I wonder if people would say you're a trick or a treat.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
All right, verdict time. We're going to let you know whether You Won't Be Alone was a trick or a treat and any final thoughts we may have. Let's start with Aries.
Yeah, this one's it's a tough one to express, because this is one of those movies that go back to, I don't like our trick or treat terminology, because this movie was a good movie. There was a lot going on in this movie. I thought it was shot very well. But this was not a movie made for me. Yeah. So based on that simple fact and our limited our limited rankings of movies, this movie is a trick. But it is not a bad movie. It's just not my movie.
All right. There you go. It's fair. How about you, Raven Shadow?
I'm going to piggyback on my my brother right there. And typically I don't give a fuck about this kind of horror.
Okay.
But no, I can appreciate it. But yes, overall, this is not necessarily in my wheelhouse. I think if this is your milk, if this is what you're into, then definitely check it out. And even with that said, it was shot beautifully. We saw a lot of interesting things. In the gore that was there was good. It's just not, for my money, what I would put on, and probably wouldn't watch again. But yeah, it was fine. I would say this is a type of treat for your boy Raven Shadow, but your views may be different depending on what you're into. So I would say a type of treat, but still check it out. And whatever this director, if this truly, and if once again, first time director, dude, I'm down with what you're doing next. Killer, man. You know what I mean? Like make a sci-fi movie, maybe a western. Then I'll jump. Yeah.
All right, there you go. For me, I will say that this is a treat. It was a different movie than I was expecting. I mean, I didn't have like serious expectations, like it, was looking for this or that, but this was more of a sort of quiet, more of a sort of I don't know what the right word I'm looking for here is, but more of sort of a subdued film. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. And, it doesn't telegraph its sort of premise at first. It sort of builds, but I did like the shape shifting. I thought that was kind of like, I've never seen shape shifting like that, so I thought that was kind of an interesting way to do it.
The dog, yeah.
Oh, the dog, yeah, the dog scene was awesome. Like,
see, I do have questions about the shape shifting that I don't think we can get into on the show.
Sorry, Wolfie, for derailing you, bro.
No, that's cool. Yeah, it's so the thing I like is at first I wasn't sure what the shape shifting was. I thought it was you had to consume the person, but in a way you are, like you're in a way consuming part of them, which I liked. I will say it was a little bit too much animal violence. A lot of it was off screen, but there, at a certain point, it just became okay. Like, we've seen how many cows or whatever, get a sickle to them. So, I get it. I understand, but I think we could have gone a little less on that. But I guess that's my only real gripe. I think for what this was, I think this is a well-made movie. It is kind of a cool look at this folklore and whether or not it is, Macedonian folklore or whether it is a twist on folklore. I did enjoy a lot of the aspects of it. It is a very slow, subdued film, though. That's why it's difficult to, say that this is for everybody, because it's not going to be. That's for sure. But I think that people who are into this sort of thing, if you like folk horror and you understand that it's going to be kind of a slow build, I think that by all means, if that's something that you feel you would enjoy, check it out. And as mentioned, it is available on Peacock, so you can basically watch it for free. If you subscribe to Peacock, then you can watch it, for a little bit of money and avoid the ads. So, so there you go. That is You Won't Be Alone. Seems like no one hated it, but it wasn't the kind of movie that Aries typically enjoys, and Raven Shadow could see the benefits of this film and the good in it. And generally I enjoyed this. But I don't think I revisit this film. It's one of those things where, like, and I might be hard pressed to recommend it to certain circles. If there's someone who's into folk horror and they're like, I'm looking for some folk horror, I'd say definitely check this out, because I think it's an interesting take on it. And one thing that we've seen more witch movies in the last few years than we had in the previous few years, and I do like the sort of inclusion of them. And I like when they're not all like, like super black magic-y and like The Craft and, like this at least seems grounded in some semblance of reality, and that it made sense in the world that they built. So that alone, I think that this stands above a lot of other witch movies. So, yeah, take that for what you will. But there you have it. That's our discussion on You Won't Be Alone. Now,
I gotta ask. Have you ever heard someone say they were craving a folk horror movie?
yeah, actually. Well,
really?
I don't
Okay,
know
because
that
I've never heard that.
I don't know
statement.
that I've heard them say I'm craving a folk horror, but I've heard people ask for other, folk horror recommendations.
Okay.
Who are they? Do we know them?
Why,
Do they live in-
are you guys insinuating that people don't like folk horror?
I was more implying that it's not something people crave. Like people just come upon it and maybe enjoy it. Like, and it's my own bias because if I do find one I like, it is merely by accident. Like I don't seek it out.
Do you think like someone's like, bro, you want to come over, eat some pizza and watch some folk horror, bro? Like, has that ever been said before?
You've never done that, Raven Channel?
Aries, come over on Sunday and watch some folk horror, bro.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I get. Normally I get no response. Yeah, that's the response I get. I wouldn't do that.
All right. So next week should be exciting. We have a guest. What?
Well, folk horror.
I don't know, actually. I'm not familiar with these films. So could be. But next week, we have a Patreon takeover. And taking over the show is our main man from the DR, the Dominican Devastator, Double D, will be joining us for his Patreon takeover this year. And the two films that he has chosen, let me go ahead and pull up. I want to see the synopsis here. He's chosen the films Take Shelter and Horror in the High Desert. Now, Take Shelter is from 2011, and it is written and directed by Jeff Nichols. All right. The name sounds familiar, Jeff Nichols. Looks like he's going to be directing. Oh, no, he's writing A Quiet Place Part 3, so the next Quiet Place. Actually, okay, I thought I was familiar with his work, but I guess I'm not. He's directed films called Mud, Midnight Special, Loving, and this one. So, okay. But the synopsis for Take Shelter is: plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions, a young husband and father questions whether to shelter his family from a coming storm or from himself. And you'll be happy to hear Raven Shadow that stars Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Also features Jessica Chastain. And do I recognize anyone else? No, I don't recognize any of the other names, but it's a pretty good start, right? Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain.
A boy right there.
And let's see, Shea Wiggum. That name sounds vaguely familiar.
Chief Wiggum? Yeah, he's good.
No, he was in American Hustle. He played a character named Carl Elway. So, all right, so that is the first film we're going to do next week is Take Shelter. And let me pull up the next one. We'll be doing Horror in the High Desert. This one here is from 2021, so it's a newer film. And it is written and directed by Dutch Marriage. Dutch Marriage? I think that's how you say it. Let me see what Dutch has done.
Do it, Dutch!
Yeah, I'm not familiar with his films either. It looks like he's actually in post-production on a sequel to this, which is interesting. So, synopsis: in July 2017, an experienced outdoor enthusiast vanished in northern Nevada while on an outdoor excursion. After an extensive search, he was never located. On the 3-year anniversary of his disappearance, friends and loved ones recall the events leading up to his vanishing and for the first time speak about the horrifying conclusion of his fate. All right. I don't recognize anyone in this one, so So there you go. Horror in the High Desert and Take Shelter are the two films we'll be doing next week with with our boy Double D. You excited?
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, representing. Very good.
So looking forward to that.
I'm excited. I'm off that Friday, so like going on vacation, John. Yeah, it's gonna get fucking weird. I'll tell you that much. But I'll be coming home on Thursday afternoon to do show in studio. But yeah, your boy's off on Friday, so we're gonna get fucked up. Yo, D, FedEx some marijuana over here, bro.
Oh man.
So my interpretation of all of what he just said in 2 weeks he would not have watched that movie.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got too.
I mean, 2 weeks. No, we're gonna watch it. We're gonna bring our internet with us.
Yeah, that means nothing. You're not going to watch the movie. Whatever movie we're supposed to watch in 2 weeks, you would not have seen it.
Isn't it 1 week though?
Until Double D's on? Yeah, that's next week.
Yeah.
But you said you're going on vacation after that.
No, I'm going on vacation as of Monday of this week, but we're coming home for Thursday for the Double D show.
Oh, so you're not going to watch either of Double D's movies? Wow. That's bold.
Mary, no, we're gonna bring our apps with us.
That's bold. To disrespect D like that. Wow.
I thought you were bringing your internet with you. Now you're bringing your apps.
We're bringing the internet and the apps. We're bringing all that stuff.
What kind of apps? Mozzarella sticks, or what are we talking here?
Yeah, some Motsy Watsies.
Do you have enough room in your car to bring the internet with you?
I think
he doesn't know how to bring the internet with him.
No, Marion has a big bag of holding that she'll bring with her that can hide that stuff. You know what I mean? Like
hide it? Why do you have to hide it?
What?
You gotta hide the internet. You can't. Yeah, it's expensive now. You can't cross the bridge without with the internet.
Where are you going?
It's like across the. We're going down the Cape, bro.
Are you running cable out the trunk when you go? What are you hardwired in your house?
Yeah, you going to Cable Cod?
Cable, yeah, cable, yeah. Aries, you should come over on Thursday. We'll get fucking fucked up.
Or Mamajuana?
Yeah. You would like that. Come over on Thursday. I'll give you a mug.
He said he didn't want his mug. He would have grabbed it the other day if he wanted it.
Just throwing it out there. I'm off on Friday. You should be off. All on the sick day. Perfect.
Call in a sick day.
Do people call into work anymore?
I haven't called in sick since.
No. I mean, if you were to take a day off, would you actually pick up the phone and call? That's what I mean. Or would you email, or would you message? How would you do it?
No. I just do earn time. I don't call in sick.
What?
If you're not going into work, how do you tell them you're not going into work?
I just let them figure it out. No, I don't not go into work. I always go into work. I don't have a day off unless I'm planned.
What if you have COVID? You can't go into work.
I haven't. I think my Italian biological makeup is not allow that to happen.
I'm going to give my interpretation of this. This is, I don't know how to call into work, so I'm not going to call into work, and I'm going to show up every day.
I have. That's what I do. You do it too, bro. Like we've been.
No, I don't. If I'm sick or I just feel like not going in, I send my boss a text and say sick day. And if I know my boss is off, I send my boss's boss an email. I'm not in today.
Yeah.
I see you talk to your boss and your boss's boss very differently. You say sick day to your boss and to your boss's boss, you said, would you say I'm taking a day off?
Yeah, I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in. Yeah. That's the difference between liking the person and not liking the person. I'll let you interpret as to which is which.
Well, which one gives you your annual review? Because I want to see if you're going to be, if as like what was the as expected or exceeds expectations.
I get meets, exceeds, or
meets,
below.
Yeah.
And how my review usually goes. Yeah, sign this. Here's your paperwork. That's how it goes.
Here's your 10 cents in the back. Yeah, no, but I've not called. The only time I've called in sick to work was 2 days in 2000, maybe 17 or 18, when I pulled my back out on the snowblower. And
I remember that.
Right, that sucked, right? And that was the only
I don't
time.
remember if it sucked.
Yeah, I was there.
I know.
I believe it blew because it was a snowblower.
No, it blew, and it sucked. It went from suck to blow. And the only other time before that I called in was when Obama was in office the first time. So I never fucking call in, dude. But I fucking
All right. So when you blew your back out, how did you notify work?
in the morning I called my director.
You called.
Yeah.
You picked up the phone and you spoke to someone.
Hello. Yeah. You do
one
you
ringy dingy.
Well, that's how you do it. I just explained how I did it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little more professional than you boys in the woods.
You know what's funny is if I were to take a day off, I don't know numbers to call. Like, there's no numbers for me to call. I have to email. So like calling into work isn't a thing for me. And
so do you mind meld?
No, I said email.
Emails.
Oh.
And
see, I don't even have an office line. Like my office building, there's no phone line. So I don't even have a number to call. That's why I text my boss. And mainly because he doesn't want to talk to me at 6 in the morning.
He's not the
he
only
is
one.
like me. He doesn't want to talk to anyone at that hour.
Now I know which one you don't like. No, just kidding.
No. I get.
Just kidding.
I'll get along with my boss great because he's just like me. I could text him the word out, and he would that would be sufficient with him.
Is he your clone?
Yeah.
Fucking done, dude. Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, and the funny thing is I have 5 weeks of fucking vacation time that I have to use. I'm still working from home now. I'm actually probably going to go back to the office soon, but working from home, I mean, if I don't feel great, I'll just kind of take it easy and then just work later, because I just got to get my work done. That's what it comes down to. It's, unless I have a meeting, I need to go to my meetings. But if I don't have a meeting, I can just get my work done when I'm working from home. So, but there's disadvantages to that too, though, because then sometimes I'm working really fucking late. So, but yeah. So I have 5 weeks of fucking vacation time. It's we have PTO, we have wellness days, we have sick days, we have personal time. So all that adds up. It's crazy.
I understand everything but wellness days. What is wellness days?
Yeah,
Yeah, go ahead, Rich. I don't want.
I was gonna make a joke, but I want to hear you say it first.
It's if you are having a day mentally you're just not there. You're feeling fine, but maybe you're not feeling well mentally, and you just don't feel like you can work, or you don't want to work. You can take a day off, or
wow, that's very progressive of your company.
It is.
I mean, because my company is very old school. You have to bullshit. I'm sick. You have to cough. It's a sick day. No, I just fucking can't deal with work today.
What I said about Aries, I'm just not feeling it today. Aries, you'd be yeah, I cut my finger off. I'll be in tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna get glued back on. I'll be in tomorrow.
I got some ice and some duct tape in the back. I'll be in tomorrow.
It is. I mean, it is nice, and working for a tech company, they are definitely more progressive. And in addition to that, there's just for instance, women like it's kind of this taboo thing for women to have like take a day off because of their period or something like that, like, but some women like can't function, like, and it sucks that they have to take a day off. This is sort of like a pool for whatever, like you can, if you're not feeling it, you want to just take a day off, or, maybe just want to sit on the couch and binge your favorite show. Like, so yeah, it is progressive, and it's cool. The other thing is, like, for people who celebrate other holidays, maybe people who are pagan or Satanists or whatever, like like if you don't have a normal holiday, like, cuz in America we have all the Christian holidays off for the most part, or if you're even Jewish, like like this gives you an opportunity to take those days off and not feel like you have to use your vacation time, So there you go. That's wellness days for you. All right. Let me see what we got here. We got one voice message.
Yeah.
I think it's just one. Let me just double check. Yeah, I think it's just the one. So we do have a voice message, and then that's it. So let's go ahead and play the message. It is from First Time Mike. Let's see what FTM has to say this week.
What's up, Trick or Treat family? This is First Time Mike. How's everybody doing?
Good, buddy.
This is my review of this little indie film that you might have heard of called The Batman.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I did go see The Batman about a month ago at the theater, and I thought it was a good movie. Let's get some cards out on the table right away. I thought the cast mostly was pretty good. Robert Pattinson made a good Batman. He leaned a lot more on the Batman than the Bruce Wayne persona, and it was interesting the choices that they made on balancing that duology of Batman. Is Batman the vigilante with dashes of the playboy, or is he a balanced entity? And this film aired very much on the side of Batman being the end-all be-all of his existence. I love Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, capturing the sensuality and the conflict of a good Catwoman portrayal. I thought Jeffrey White was good as Commissioner Gordon, a little bit older, kind of a mentor, in a way, a mentor figure, and to Bruce Wayne, and also a good crime-solving partner, playing basically the honest man in the Gotham Police. Andy Serkis was good as Alfred, but I wanted to see more Alfred. Alfred is a major part of it. Colin Farrell captured the corruption of the Penguin very well, and as how he's been shown in many years now as high class but utterly corrupt, and Colin Farrell, unrecognizable under the makeup, was pretty good. I didn't care for the Riddler. I agree with Aries. This is not my Riddler. And my Riddler is more cerebral and taunting. And if they wanted to do I understand why they wouldn't use Bane for something like this after the Nolan trilogy, but there are far more brutal villains in Batman's Rogues Gallery that could have been used for this, and I thought that seeing the Riddler like this just kind of wasn't my cup of tea. One of the things, this is not my Batman, I'm going to say this right off the bat. This is the newer Batman of like Arkham Asylum and those video games. My niece mentioned that, and I'm like, okay, I've never played those. My Batman is like the Batman of Batman the animated series, or the calculating Batman of the Grant Morrison run of JLA, or even the square jaw straight man of Justice League back in the Giffen and Matthias days, and Giffen and Maguire days. And but I found them enjoyable. I did like the message at the end of the movie, and there's a couple points where I thought that, you know what, does everything in Gotham have to be corrupt? Can't you have a little bright light in something? Does everything have to be tainted to tell the good story, to tell a story in Gotham? I don't want to give any spoilers away, but some revelations, I'm like, you could have done that without the end of the movie, and it just kind of left a little bad taste in my mouth. It's like, Gotham's already an urban hellhole. Does everything have to be tainted by it? And can't you just have the story of one good light snuffed out to be the catalyst for everything that happens later? But that's a personal thing of mine. And also, I prefer my Batman to be the urban legend, not how you see him like walking around in the trailer. But all in all, I thought the Batman was a really good movie. It's 3 hours. It kept my interest. Again, decent acting. I really enjoyed it. I give Batman a treat. Again, not my Batman, but I wouldn't mind seeing another movie with this Robert Pattinson playing Batman and seeing how they tell this version of the story and what twists and turns might come up by the decisions that they made in this one. This is first time Mike wishing everybody the best, and holy crap, it's like summer already. So everybody have a good time. I'm out. Good night. Bye.
All right, first time Mike. Great to hear from you, buddy, and appreciate your thoughts on the Batman. Aries, he agreed with you about not my Riddler, not my Batman.
And you know what? I like it when the smart people agree with me.
First time Mike is very smart. So, Rave Joe, any thoughts?
Respect. Once again, I mean, everything. It's still in Elseworlds, right? I mean, like, end of the day, it's all interpretations.
Well, I mean, who fucking knows what it really depends on, when you started reading, right? Because if let's say you picked up the New 52, that's the first time you've ever read Batman, that's not Elseworlds to you, so really, it's different eras. That's how you have to look at it,
Well, I don't mean that, and I think that was me that said that. Because I'm a really big Riddler.
Maybe I'm just referring to not my Riddler.
Yeah, I think first time Mike is mistaken.
Oh shit! Are you calling him out?
I'm saying, bro. I think maybe when Aries might have been back in those days, but
are you saying his opinion is wrong?
No, I think he referenced the wrong person. I think he should have referenced your boy, in that statement.
Your boy.
Your boy. Because Riddler's probably my third favorite Batman villain. In my opinion, my favorite Riddler is Frank Gorshin because he's fucking awesome. But I love even when they turned Riddler face for a little while. They tried to make him be like a kind of a sleuth and even help Batman. I think when Paul Dini did his detective run in the mid 2000s, 20s, whatever the fuck. But no, I mean, any cinematic take, television or whatnot take, I feel is still Elseworlds, right? It's even continuity is still Elseworlds. There's no definitive story. You're gonna cherry pick your shit. And we haven't talked about the fucking Gotham Knights trailer, which wowzers.
Well, there has to be a definitive story if you're going to have Elseworlds.
Yeah, true. There has to be one you point to that says this is the...
Right. There's the overall main, air quotes, continuity that's at that time. But still, any television...
Why is that air quotes? It's the continuity.
Johnny.
Don't look at me.
Johnny. But no, there's no definitive Batman story. Remember when Batman Begins came out, people looked to me like I fucking wrote the motherfucker.
Dark Knight Returns isn't definitive, you don't think?
No, but it's
even
a
though
story.
That's technically Elseworlds.
Yeah, it's the thing. There's no which is this the real version? There's so many different stories because when you get to a point where there are characters who are legend and that have been around for 75 years. It will come and it will go. It's like telling a joke. You keep the important stuff and you shed what doesn't work. There's no true definitive story. Just make it cool.
But there is whatever story they're telling at the time.
I think, let me translate for you, Raven Shadow. Are you trying to say there's no agreed upon, like, in the public, like within, like, the public sphere, like, people point to this is the definitive Batman story? Is that where you're trying? There's no consensus?
It's all, you got to understand this interpretation. Maybe there's some times that Joe Chill did kill Batman's parents. And then in other continuities, nobody knows. And it could be argued that it's better that he never knew who killed his parents, because every time he's out and about, maybe he's getting that person. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, there is no definitive version. There isn't. There truly isn't. You want to say
can each person have their definitive Batman story?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you're basically saying, like, there's no popular consensus of a definitive story.
I don't feel there is, because there is no. You don't. Once again, people will still get people come to the shop like, I want to read Green Lantern from #1. Like, why would you want to do that? Like, there's no
right. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Because the characters are not the same. It's not like a preacher. Right.
Yeah, but you're still getting a history, and you're getting a feel for the character. As the character changes and progresses, you change and progress with that character. Don't shake your head at me.
That's why it's much better to jump on maybe a creative team or a storyline. Like, you could read there's some motherfuckers out there who love Batman. They don't have to know that he had a fucking hunchback servant named Harold that made his equipment for a little while in the 90s.
Yes, they do.
You
don't have to know that, but it's good to know that.
Who gives a? You don't know.
Well, by that logic, if you loved the Nolan Batmans, there's no reason to watch this Batman.
I'm trying to say is that you got to let it go with what is the actual storyline. It's all mythology. It's mythology at this point. There's no definitive story. You don't have to know that Steve Rogers in the 80s was actually the comic book artist of the Marvel comic book Captain America comic in the Steve Rogers Captain America comic. That's fucking absurd to say it out loud, but he fucking was. You don't have to know that Captain America had a hotline that was pre-internet, that he would call up people, would leave messages, and when he would rove in the country. You don't have to need to know that. What I'm trying to say is that you can take it all in and great, but there's no definitive story for mythology and legends.
Oh, okay. But no. But so does every time they reinvent a character, do you need to love and embrace that character?
You have to love every reinvention. No.
So, but that is what First Time Mike is saying, and he actually mirrored the same words that I said. I know because I spoke them. It is not my Riddler.
I feel I said it wasn't my Riddler either. We're best friends, bro. High five.
But you don't high five me. Mike was quoting what I said. You are just quoting what's in your own head.
I think he quoted what I said.
And everyone is entitled to their opinion about characters. And because we grew up with a certain character and a certain way that character was portrayed, a new version of that character, we don't have to like that character, and we can express that we don't like that character. We're not saying that the character is bad and is complete shit and should be erased from the Batman universe. I am merely saying that this is not the Riddler that I like, that I enjoy watching. And I believe
Mike
that
drop.
is what First Time Mike was saying.
First time mic drop.
First time mic drop. Blow.
Oh, man. He should sign off with that.
Oh, dude. That's your new gimmick, bro. First time mic drop.
You can have that first time mic, all right? If you want it. I'm not saying you have to, but if you want it, first time mic drop. Boom.
That's good. Just use our Amazon link when you buy stuff online. Just saying. It doesn't cost you anything. extra.
Every time you buy a new mic to drop it, get it from Amazon. Use our link.
First time mic drop was funny as fuck, dude. That's nice. I'm gonna steal that too. What do you think of that?
Well, it might not have good context otherwise if you use it outside of, this show.
Oh, so probably at work they won't get it. Be like,
yeah,
I don't know what he's.
You're like, first time mic drop. They're like, huh?
He cut his hair. Now he's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
We're worried about him. But no, thank you, Larry. I think what we're all.
So
it's all different.
Basically, Raven Shadow is controlling his own narrative. He's making stuff up and saying that he said it.
No, but I could do more than that. I'll tell you that much. 'Cause I'm taking notes over.
Was that a threat?
No, episode.
You've taken notes?
No, you haven't.
I've taken.
Where?
Oh yeah, no. Wait till fucking 10-year anniversary episode. I got some schematics. You don't even fucking know.
Some schematics.
I got schematics, but no. I think I love First Time Mike very much, and I wish him well.
What the fuck? You're pissed that he attributed that to Aries rightfully, and that you think it's yours, so you're mad at him.
No, I love my Frank Gorshin. I love the question mark suits. I can also what Aries can't. I know about the Mech Magnolia run from Dark Knight, Dark City. That was there. Run Riddler Run, all that shit. But no, it's good. Aries gonna be in.
Now, I'm not saying I know more about the Riddler than you. I'm merely saying that I made that statement that this was not my Riddler.
So I want to make a sandwich with you right now. So the meat right now is the concern about.
Do you really need to piggyback on this?
No, but I think let's break it down. So the meat is that we're having contention of who talked about the Riddler more. So let's put some cheese on that, right? So
I'm not saying no.
No,
I don't care who talked about it more.
Yeah, it's not who talked about it more. He is being quoted.
We're
First time I
making
quoted Aries.
But we're making a friendship sandwich right now. We're gonna fix it.
No.
It doesn't need to be fixed.
No. One of our intelligent listeners quoted me in his statement, and I would like credit for that.
So that
is where I stand.
That's the lettuce.
No. That is it. That is all there is. Unless you can prove otherwise with audio evidence right now, this should be put to rest.
All right. So
no sandwich.
No,
is this
the meat? The meat is the question.
Why? No. Why are you trying to take this away from me?
No, I'm trying.
Why are you trying to hurt me?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna build it. So we have.
No.
Don't need a sandwich.
No. This is mine. I love the fact that one of our listeners quoted me, and you are trying to take this away from me.
Raven Shadow, your version of a sandwich is a fucking frozen sandwich in a cellophane bag. That is your sandwich. Not my sandwich.
So then this is what we're gonna do.
Hashtag not my sandwich.
So this is what we're gonna do. So First Time Mike made some seasoned curly fries.
Oh, I have some seasoned
why?
curly fries.
You're still trying to take this away from me?
No, but can I have a bite? Can I have one of your?
No, why? Why are you trying to take this away from me?
All right, you can have all the fries. I just thought we could share, but that's okay. No, it's your fries. I'll have loneliness for supper. That's good.
If you want a listener to quote you, say something substantial.
Oh, fuck. Throwing down the gauntlet.
All right.
I just right now, say something substantial.
Yeah. How many motherfuckers repeat that shit back to you?
Yeah.
All right. No, it's good. I just thought we could all come together and make something and make a
I'm sorry. Can I jump on every time some motherfucker says that? I helped him write that. I came up with the Leo part of that.
The Leo.
Can I do
trademark? That? Well, let's make a Bombaleo sandwich.
Yeah, he was sitting there. He's like, he had bomb, and I'm like, you know what you need is Leo.
It's almost like mayo, but a little different.
Bombaleo sandwich. Fuck.
Oh, mayo.
Bombo mayo.
All right, we've like jumped like 3 rails already. Can we just fucking end this?
Yeah.
No, Eric, I love you. I love First Time Mike.
You better. Evil Corny says, "Whoa, I nodded off there." Corny fell asleep.
Oh, crap. Tried to bring him in with that coffee shit. Now I hear from him now at the end of the episode.
Yep. But he did say Batman isn't a historical figure, Raven Shadow. Those stories aren't written in stone.
I feel that's what I said.
I think I think you were. That was roundabout way. Yeah, you were kind of trying to say that.
He said that 8 minutes ago, so it might have been before you said it. I'm not sure.
I don't think it was the Founding Fathers. It wasn't like, Samuel Jackson. No, he wasn't the Founding Father. Was it Andrew Jackson?
Samuel Jackson.
This is the motherfucking Constitution.
Oh my God, that wasn't even fucking close. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm not sure who wrote the Constitution.
Well, there you go. There's your quote, Raven Shadow.
God damn it.
Yeah, I feel like I have seasoned curly fries in the freezer. I feel like fucking cooking that shit up now. I'm gonna make a friendship sandwich and have some with a side of seasoned fries.
Right. I'll be the bun, and we'll just come together. That's fine.
Oh man! By the way, I know you guys probably don't care, but I forgot that the Celtics were playing in the finals, game 1. When I turned the game on, they were losing by like 12, and now they're up by 15 with a minute left in the game.
Really? What quarter?
1 minute left in the game.
Yeah, dude.
So the fifth
they're winning.
quarter.
They're winning. Yeah, they're winning this game. There's no way they're losing. So yeah,
dude,
why
the fuck did you say that?
I don't know if you guys saw. I did like a fist bump like 2 minutes ago. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, but you say that shit, dude.
Oh, I just said it. There you go. Big Al Horford has 26 fucking points.
Oh. Knock on wood. Go bees.
Go
oh,
bees.
Shit. Seeds. Fuck.
You know what? You could run with it. Boston. The bees. The Boston team.
Why aren't they the Celtics? That's just weird.
Well, it should be, honestly. But, we're gringos, so. All right, let's wrap this up. That is, that's going to do it. So, friendship sandwich with a side of seasoned fries. There you go. Corny says, I missed all the podcasts. I'll listen tomorrow. Hey, Corny, whatever, man. Oh, that's funny. All right, that's going to do it. So let's go around, say our goodbyes, starting with Aries.
I'm impressed Corny could nod off listening to us just yell at each other. That's a skill.
Yeah, maybe we maybe we should do an ASMR show where we put people to sleep.
Do a little meditation thing going on.
Yeah. How to make a bombaleo sandwich. That'll be that.
All right. Goodbye.
All right. After all that, Raven Shadow.
All right. Fucking go Celtics. Live fast, love hard, survive with your mask on.
All right. That is going to wrap up episode 514. We appreciate everyone who tuned in live, even if they fell asleep. It's always a pleasure to hear from folks. So big shout out to First Time Mike for sending in a voice message. And if you guys, I don't always say this, but if you guys ever want to send in a voice message, you can do so by sending it to podcast@trickortreatradio.com. We love hearing your voices, or you can send an email, whichever you prefer. But go ahead and send us your thoughts on the movie of the week, or maybe a film we've done recently, or any old thing. You checked out something you're really digging, let us know. So there you have it. That's going to do it. Next week, as I mentioned, we have a Patreon takeover with Double D. And we'll be talking about the movies Take Shelter and Horror in the High Desert. All right. Well, that is going to do it for this episode. And next week we're back to having a guest, and the week after that we have another guest lined up, and I think we have guests maybe for the rest of the month. So we appreciate you guys, especially our Patreon supporters and everyone who's going to listen to the podcast on Friday or whenever the fuck you check it out. There you go. All right, everyone. We will see you guys next week. See you.